Hello and welcome to a new video from the Wow Canine Integral Center. Today we have a super interesting topic because it's a very common question that I've been asked a ton of times. And that is whether it's better to have a purebred dog or a mixed breed dog. To address that, we're going to use a question that a subscriber of the channel asked me not long ago. Regarding a doubt she has, I'm going to say hello to Juan Lu. I've been following your YouTube channel for a while. Thank you so much. Love your videos. Thank you very much. And now that I've decided to get a dog again, I was wondering if you could give me an answer to a question I have. You see, my first dog, Willow, was a purebred border collie that we got from a breeder who told us that this breed needed a lot of physical exercise but also mental stimulation. That's why I decided to enroll in agility. And honestly, it was a great decision. Well, yes, it really was a great decision. Willow quickly understood commands and was very easy to work with, which she enjoyed. Another mixed breed Podenco is out of the question. As I mentioned before, we've decided to get another dog, but this time we want to adopt, since there are many dogs that need a home. We don't care about the color, whether it's male or female, etc. We just want it to be a border collie, so we can train agility or hip with it. The thing is, the shelters have mixed border collies, and just to be clear, I have no problem with it being a mixed breed. In fact, I have one. The only thing is that I want to make sure. We just want it to be a border collie so we can train agility or hip with it. The thing is, the shelters have mixed border collies, and just to be clear, I have no problem with it being a mixed breed. In fact, I have one. What I want is to be able to do hip with him, and for it to be easy to teach him. If she wants him to be adopted, it doesn't matter if he's a mixed breed, but for working in hip, they require that they be purebred dogs. Sorry, I want to be able to do hip with him and for it to be easy to teach him. If she wants him to be adopted, it doesn't matter if he's a mixed breed, but for working in hip, they require that they be purebred dogs. I've been told all sorts of things in the Facebook group. One person claimed that any dog with even a bit of border collie would be super smart and easy to train. But on the other hand, another person said that any mixed breed, regardless of whether one of its parents is a border collie, would be a lottery when it comes to training. It could be that the border collie gives it the desire to learn, or it might not. But on the other hand, others tell me that any mixed breed, regardless of whether one of its parents is a border collie, would be a lottery when it comes to training. It could be that the border collie gives it the desire to learn, or it might not. What do you think, Juan Lu? Alright, let's start from the beginning with purebred dogs. Different dog breeds were created for specific purposes, whether for a type of work or to be a companion animal, which is already a kind of job in itself, like a family therapy dog, as it's often called. So depending on what we want to achieve with that dog, we're going to try to select a series of traits. For example, with a herding dog, we need it to be very intelligent, to have initiative, to not be afraid of large animals, and to have a strong ability to herd, but not too much prey drive. Because of course, imagine if it's herding the sheep and ends up killing one. It wouldn't be useful as a herding dog. So, those types of dogs that would bite and kill their prey, well, they weren't bred. So, for example, with a herding dog, we need it to be very intelligent, to have initiative, to not be afraid of large animals, and to have a strong ability to herd, but not too much prey drive. Because, of course, imagine if it's herding the sheep and ends up killing one. It wouldn't be useful as a herding dog. So those types of dogs that would bite and kill their prey, well, they weren't bred with. I'm not saying they were put down, which in some cases they probably were, but they definitely didn't breed with them. They bred with dogs that were good herders. In the case of the Podenco, which was a hunting dog, they selected dogs that wouldn't pay attention to anything else because their job was to chase after the prey, whether it was a rabbit or whatever, and kill it, and, at most, bring it back to their owner. That's it. They didn't ask for more than one Podenco, so they didn't look for other factors. That's why in the case of your dogs, I'm talking to you, dear subscriber of the channel. The border collie is much easier to train than a Podenco. Does that mean a Podenco can't be trained? No, of course a Podenco can be trained, but it's going to take a bit more work than with a border collie, which already has a tremendous desire to learn, to take initiative, and to please its owner. In fact, just look at how border collies walk, because they have a very peculiar way of moving, as if they're always herding, and it's something that's in their genes. What do I want to say with all this? Well, it's already clear that purebred dogs were created for a specific purpose. What happens when we mix different breeds? When we take a mixed breed, what happens is that we don't know what percentage of that behavioral inheritance we have in that dog. In fact, from one sibling to another, it can vary. So it's true that it's a bit of a lottery in that sense. In fact, from one sibling to another, it can vary. So it is true that it is a bit of a lottery in that sense. I mean, if I take a working German Shepherd, for example, and mix it with a Border Collie, I have a great chance of getting a good working dog, even if it's a mix. However, if I take a Hound, those dogs with floppy ears that sniff around, and mix it with a Podenco, it's most likely that I won't end up with a good working dog. If what I want is to have a dog that can pull a sled and such, it's better. However, if I take a Hound, those dogs with floppy ears that sniff around, and mix it with a Podenco, it's most likely that I won't end up with a good working dog. If what I want is to have a dog that can pull a sled and such, it's better. I can mix a Husky with an Alaskan Malamute and get a phenomenal dog. If what I want is to have a dog that can pull a sled really well, then it's better. I can mix a Husky with an Alaskan Malamute and get a phenomenal dog. If what I want is a dog that pulls hard, that has a lot of strength, then I can't mix an Alaskan Malamute, no matter how good it is at pulling sleds, with a Yorkshire Terrier because I don't know what part of the traits I'll end up with. I can mix a Husky with an Alaskan Malamute and get a phenomenal dog. If what I want is a dog that pulls hard, that has a lot of strength, then I can't mix an Alaskan Malamute, no matter how good it is at pulling sleds, with a Yorkshire Terrier because I don't know what traits I'll end up with. Because it's important to say that behavior has two components: a genetic component and an environmental component. The environmental component is going to be the same for everyone, so that's why we're overlooking it. We're focusing on the genetic part of behavior. So, to answer the question, a purebred dog is preferable if you have specific tasks in mind. For a companion or basic obedience, any dog will do, purebred or mixed. If you need a dog for a specific job, choose a purebred, as they are genetically suited for work. While environment plays a role, a purebred is less likely to have unexpected traits compared to a mixed breed, whose genetic background is uncertain. Now, if what you want, like in this case, is a specific job, I recommend you go for the sure thing and get a purebred dog. One that's genetically prepared for work. Maybe it turns out that the environmental component also affects it, and you end up with a dog. That's just okay, or not great. Yes, that can happen. Of course it can happen. But there's less probability of that happening than if you get a mixed breed, where you don't know what genetic components or traits it carries from its parents, ancestors, etc. That's it. This is unique. What did I mean by that? Does that mean a purebred dog is better than a mixed breed dog? No. I insist, a dog is a dog, and each dog is an individual. There are fantastic mixed breed dogs that can outshine any Border Collie, any working German Shepherd, any Belgian Malinois, any Rottweiler, or any Doberman when it comes to work. And there are Robwe, for example. I've seen Robwe in hip competitions that were honestly quite sad. Really sad. I don't know if it's because of the genetic background they had, or how they were trained, but there were dogs with no character at all, no desire to work, no motivation, and they were supposed to be rock stars, dogs that were selected for that, to be strong working dogs. If you, for example, want a calm and sociable dog to stay at home, then don't get a Belgian Malinois. No, a Belgian Malinois is meant for work, and if you're not going to work them, you're going to have a million problems at home. It's the trend now to get a Belgian Malinois and keep it as a pet. Why? Because I've seen it on TV. They run, they sniff, they bite, they obey really quickly, they obey very well, and they have a lot of focus. Yes, but that's what they're meant for. They're designed for that, not to be at home, quietly watching TV. For that, we have other breeds like poodles and Yorkshire Terriers. So I get a strong, powerful Belgian Malinois. How great it is. Well, I'm going to raise it with my German Shepherd, who is calm. What can come out of that, I have no idea. You can end up with very strong dogs like their father, or mother, like the Belgian, or you can get very calm dogs, like the mother, or you might get a mix of both. Because, as I said, it doesn't just depend on genetics, but also on how they're raised. Not only how you raise it, but also how the mother has been raising it. So I hope this has clarified something for you. If you want, I can summarize it a bit. For specific tasks, there are specific breeds for that work. If I want a scent work dog, I get a hound. If I want a herding job, I get a herding dog. If I want a guard dog for protection, I get a protection guard dog. And if I want a dog to keep me company, I get a companion dog. If I don't need anything special, I just want a little dog to be with me. Teach it a few things, and that's it. Any type of dog will do. Some will cost you more, and some will cost you less. I'll tell you one thing, the dogs that are more expensive to train are the ones you learn the most from, because they're going to put you in a lot of situations that you'll have to solve. So when an easy dog comes along, you'll find it a breeze. In fact, since we're used to working with all kinds of dogs, honestly, easy dogs bore me a bit because I like challenges. I enjoy taking on complicated dogs. So when an easy dog comes your way, you're going to have him lying down. In fact, since we're used to working with all kinds of dogs, honestly, easy dogs bore me a bit. Because I like challenges. I enjoy taking on complicated dogs. In fact, that's why I work in animal behavior and I don't work in, behavioral problems, and I don't train dogs for home, which I also do, right? But I get more bored. I like challenges more. And so, dear subscriber, I hope I've answered your question and cleared up any doubts you had about whether to get a mixed breed dog or a purebred dog. So now you know, for specific tasks, go for a purebred, and to enjoy what a purebred or mixed breed dog has to offer. So that's it. A hug, and see you in the next video. So that's it, a hug. See you in the next video.